Silver is this close, oh so close, and even though it does not stimulate any of the senses, save for touch, I can still taste it. I'll explain what I mean in this video as we explore. In off-day trading in the European and Asian markets, silver has done some great things today. In fact, it came very close and then breached it briefly, over $37 an ounce again. In fact, as the market is closed for the weekend, silver is trading at $36.98, up 8 cents today. Now, that may not seem like a lot, and it's not. However, given the summer doldrums that we find ourselves in, that is actually quite good news to see silver stabilize far above and hanging out in this area. It is just right there on the cusp, right on the precipice of maybe flirting with $37 silver, and we'll find out Monday, or Sunday night rather, when the markets open in Asia to see if there's any traction that we'll see. And I think there will be. I'll tell you why in a moment. But first, I want to remind you of channel sponsor Summit Metals. They are having a sale today, July the 4th. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Check their sale out at summitmetals.com. And also stay tuned because I'm going to be showing you some new pieces of silver that I think you'll find quite intriguing. Stay tuned for later in the video for that. We saw silver hold steady just below the $37 mark during the Asian session on Friday and remains within striking distance of over a 2-week high touched the previous day. Meanwhile, the constructive technical setup suggests that the path of least resistance for silver remains on the upside. And it is indeed that is the case because the silver futures has silver resting at $37.13 right now. Now, the futures don't always indicate where it's going to go. Anything can happen that could lead silver to move back the other directions. But I tell you, it is encouraging to see that silver is winning against the summer doldrums at this point in time. The daily relative strength index remains above 50 and validates the positive outlook for silver. However, the moving average convergence divergence histogram and the signal line of the day chart are yet to confirm bullish bias. So in the technical world, there's mixed signals there. It's suggesting that any subsequent move up could stall near the $37.30 or $37.35 region. But that's still the highest level we've seen since February of 2012 that we touched on earlier this month. Some follow-through buying, however, would set the stage for an extension of a nearly 3-month-old uptrend. Now, the other thing we have to keep in mind is one purchase that was made. I did a video about it not long ago about how one man, David Bateman, bought 800,000 ounces of silver. Now, in the grand scheme of the overall silver market, that's not that much. But for one day to make that purchase, that very well could have an impact, at least most certainly supporting where prices are right now. So there is something to be said for that. And will he buy more? It is quite possible. And how is he buying the silver? Well, likely just like he did before in 1,000-ounce bars from major suppliers. But on the flip side, the $36.50 to $36.45 area now seems to protect the immediate downside. Below that, we could see it slide below 36.15 and 36.10 region. Those are the next marks to the downside for silver, which means that I think that we've got below the $36 mark. This is setting itself for solid support right now at $36. And then the next pivot zone is 35.50 to 35.40. And the latter should act as a key pivotal point, and a convincing break below would shift the near-term bias back in favor of bearish traders. Silver might then accelerate to the corrective fall towards the next relative support near the $35 psychological mark. This is good news, folks, because even in the most negative scenario, according to the technical traders, we're not even talking about $34 silver anymore. It's above $35 an ounce. even in some of the worst case scenarios that we could see in the coming weeks and months. So there is that. I think that's good news. But there is some fight to prevent it from climbing much more than that. Trading near its highest level in the last 2 weeks, consolidating gains below the $37 area after having rallied beyond 2% over the previous 2 days, according to mid-trade. And the silver FX Street is what gave us some of that technical analysis before. So investors' concerns about trade uncertainty are keeping precious metals buoyed on Friday as U.S. trade partners await letters from U.S. President Trump informing them about the levies that will be added to their products from July the 9th. So that is something, part of what is propping them up as well too. But what an amazing thing. I tell you what, this is in the world of precious metals. I never thought we would see silver trading, flirting with near 11, 12-year highs. At this point in time, it's pretty amazing to see this and staying in this area for long enough that this is a healthy run up for silver. And it's one of those situations where it's hard for many of us to imagine it going back down to where it was before. But I guess if everything was to work out in one way or the other in the most optimal scenario for the economy, new mines or new production comes into play, then we can see the prices going down. But it's hard to imagine things lining up that much to make that happen, which means that for the longest time we were seeing a pretty good price for silver, and that was the best time to buy. But the second best time to buy, I think, is now, if your budget allows and your level of understanding of silver measures up with your confidence in holding the metal. Now, I tell you, no matter what the price does, having silver in your portfolio, I think, is a wise move. I think it's a way to be able to protect your wealth over the long course of time, and that's exactly one of the best benefits to having it. Why? Because it will outperform this in the long run. Maybe not in the short term, although right now it is far outperforming this, no question about it. It is exceeding the rate of inflation. That's good news. The other good news is that it is wealth outside of the system. You are, as I mentioned in my previous video today, declaring independence, which, by the way, I hope you will watch that video. Every holiday I typically post videos encouraging the community on these holidays. And today is a very special day, 249 years of independence. So I will post a link to that video in the end screen for you to check out. I do post daily videos, and I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. You don't have to watch all the videos, but I do appreciate those who do watch many or as videos as you feel comfortable. Now, let's talk a little bit about where we're going to go from here. If we see this resistance now at $37.30, according to MI Street, that is the technical resistance right now. In other words, there is some wiggle room right now as we flirt with near $37 an ounce, and with the futures market trading at $37.13, that is going to be a tough call to see if we can stay above that area. In fact, I think there's resistance solid at $37 an ounce. This is now the second time we've seen it in the past couple of days reach there and then pull back fairly quickly. But if we can get there and stay above $37, that's a strong psychological number. And then $37.50 with it sitting there at $37.30. And I think likely we will get there. I'm pretty bullish. I really have been bullish on silver for the past 5 years. I've always made predictions, year-end predictions, to the upside. And I've only been right twice about it, but I've adjusted my call this year after being right this year after it hit $36 an ounce. And I believe that likely that we'll see $39 by the end of the year. But let me know what your thoughts are regarding that. Now I want to share with you a piece of silver that I got from Germanium Mint. This is part of their runes, and this is the cast rune series. I like these things. Really, really cool pieces of silver indeed. It's cast, and you can see it's kind of hard to tell on this side, but it is etched here with the weight, purity, and serialized there. You can see 999.9 fine silver, 1 ounce. Very nice. Feels really good in the hand. Nice and heavy. This is the Azaz rune, halts the course of the events, bringing inner calm, focus, and perspective. Its energy encourages reflection, offering support during times of stagnation and apparent lack of progress, teaches patience, and reveals the value of silence as a source of strength and insight. It protects against impulsive decisions, creating space for conscious choices. Azaz helps maintain composure in difficult situations, supports the process of inner transformation, and strengthens mental and spiritual resilience. So there's that. It is the Azaz. Pretty amazing. Now, each of these do have special features that when a black light hits it, it lights up in a special way. And this one lights up with a nice blue hue to it. Each of them has unique colors for each one of them. And this one has the light there. So I'm going to put that right here. And you can see that. Pretty cool. Now, the next piece I want to show you is also from the Germanium Mint. And now for the third year in a row, they have their own bullion coin. Yes, indeed. This is the Golden Eagle silver coin. Now, that's a little bit kind of tough to follow. It's a golden eagle on a silver coin. It only comes in silver, but it is the type of bird this is here. But it is very well done, very well struck and crafted, with a lot of security features on them and intricate detail. Just remarkable. And this is the €5. And this piece comes in a capsule, and it is an actual coin from the nation of Malta, which Malta, I love their coat of arms. Very cool. €5 is a denomination. You can see the seal of Malta on the reverse of the piece. Just very well done, very well crafted. So proud to have that in there from Germanium Mint. So check those products out. They will be available at most dealers. In fact, Summit Metals also carries some Germanium Mint products. So check them out over at Summit Metals. So let me know what your thoughts are about the Germanium Mint and about what silver has done today. And happy 4th to you all. I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch. Check out these videos at the end screen. And I want to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.